All right, it is off season here in Colorado, which means it's winter time. It's cold, it's icy, and that means a lot of people aren't out paddleboarding on the lakes or rivers here. Not to say that it can't be done, but that's a whole nother video. Trail running is fantastic in the winter. It is so much fun running in the snow. However, a lot of people choose to take the winter off to do cross training, to go skiing with their families, and I honestly don't think that's a bad idea. Running, day after day, year-round isn't necessarily the best thing for your body, so it's good to take some time off and focus on strength and conditioning, which is what this video is about. So today I'm going to show you some drills and exercises I like to incorporate into my daily routine if possible, if you can remember to do it daily, to help kind of build a strong foundation from the ground up. And these are balance-based exercises, so more specific to paddleboarding and trail running, things that are really basically no impact that you can do, again, ideally daily. So this is a very simple kind of warm-up set. It's just a handful of exercises, but maybe try to add or throw these into your regular routine. Also, they're great as a warm-up. So say you want to use these as a warm-up before you go out to do your activity. So first of all, let's just ease into it and warm up. I am barefoot, so ideally do these barefoot on a soft surface. So I'm going to start with some toe and heel raises. And when I do these toe or heel raises, I want to think about an imaginary string drawing me straight up towards the ceiling. And then when I come down, I'm lifting my toes at the bottom. Straight up, nice and controlled down, lifting the toes and trying to get the toes completely off the ground here. So doing those toe and heel raises. And I'm going to do 30 seconds to a minute. Imaginary strings drawing me straight up, shoulders are down and back. I'm trying to kind of keep that pelvis tucked under, engaging the core. All these things are cycling through your brain as you're doing this. A lot of things to think about. All right, so got a little warm up in, calf muscles under the shins are nice and warm. Now we're gonna focus on balance. And balance has a lot to do with kind of making sure we're even on both sides. So what I mean by even is a lot of times we have a dominant side, and some of this is based off of just like our day-to-day posture. So how are we standing? Are we kind of standing like this? Are we favoring one leg? Have we had some kind of injury in the past and one side is just stronger and we focus more? Or maybe we've, because we've had an injury, we've gotten stronger on the other side. So let's figure out how we can balance out those discrepancies in the dominant side versus the weaker side. So first of all, we want our feet about hip width apart, shoulders back, again, thinking about that pelvic tilt, kind of tucking under a little bit, so we're a little more neutral here. And we're engaging these muscles between hip bone to hip bone, below the belly button, right here. So I want you to ground yourself through your toes. You're kind of grabbing the ground through those toes, and you want to feel the weight between our heel and our big toe here. And I'm going to put my hands on my hip bones because as we're going to do a leg raise here, I want to think about keeping my a straight line from hip bone to hip bone. All right, so we don't want any of this. All right, so as I float my right knee up, I'm going to think about grabbing through my toes on the left side, stabilizing through the top of my glute here. Okay, so my glute medius, I'm going to engage that guy, grab through the toes. I'm going to keep the hip bone to hip bone level, and I'm going to float, chest up tall, float that right knee up. Okay, and I'm going to think about being strong and stable and still. I have triple flexion, so that means I have flexion in my hip, knee, and ankle. All right, and I'm thinking about engaging the top of that hip there, and I'm thinking about stabilizing through those toes. All right, I'm going to float that down. All right, so other side, so I'm just making sure I'm nice and squared up here, hip bone to hip bone, tucking that pelvis, shoulders back, chest up high. A lot of things to think about. Stabilizing through those toes and feeling the weight through my heel and those toes. I'm gonna float up without shifting my weight. For some reason this side's a little harder today. And I have that triple flexion. I'm keeping that chest up high, hip, ankle, and knee, and eyes are ahead. Hold and float that down. So we're gonna repeat that. Okay, same thing, kind of checking everything's level. I'm engaging the top of the glute, float the leg up. And I always say look ahead, eyes ahead, whether it be mountain biking, trail running, paddleboarding, we always say look down, fall down. So we look down, our posture goes, and our body goes where our eyes go, or our bike goes where our eyes go, our board goes where our eyes go. So float that down, okay, engage the top of the glute, grab through the toes, float the other knee up, hold, and if you need to be out here with your arms for balance, that's perfectly fine. We're making sure we're pulling our toes up, working the muscles in the front of the shin, and float down. So you're gonna cycle through that until it feels more natural, where you feel like you're not shifting as much, where you feel like you can more easily float up without concentrating as much, and maybe holding five or so seconds up here. So we've got that down. Next, we're gonna do a single leg calf raise. All right, so chest up with imaginary string drawing us straight up towards the ceiling or the sky. And we're gonna do anywhere from 10 to 30 reps. So if you can get to 30 on one side, you're doing pretty good. You're ready for trail running season. So I'm not gonna do 30, it's gonna take forever, but same things apply. We're still thinking about engaging the top of the glute. We're keeping the knees soft. We're thinking about going straight up towards the ceiling, nice and controlled down. Straight up, nice and controlled down. All right, so our 10 to 30 reps here. And we're gonna do couple sets here, so 2 or 3 sets. So now we're really nice and warm. Next, let's work on mobility. So we balance and mobility combined. So again, we're stabilizing through the top of the glute. So I'm starting with the left leg, grabbing through the toes, engaging the core. And I'm gonna start here by lifting the leg up, holding, kicking it back, kicking up. And now I'm gonna actually get my arms out to the side to help with balance. And I'm just doing some balanced leg swings. So I'm kicking up and like gravity, swing that leg through, working on my hip mobility and my balance. So it's 2 for 1. All right, other side. So standing up tall, shoulders back, engage at the top of the glute. I'm gonna lift up here, hold, balance, kick up, and let gravity swing it through. Oh man, this leg is tight today. So I'm gonna do 10 to 20 swings each leg. And then again, I'm going back 2 to 3 rounds for that. All right, last one. We're gonna do a very good balance test here. So balance is highly visual. Your vision really affects how well you balance. So we're gonna take away our vision and see how well we do. You're really gonna feel this in your feet and ankles, which is great, especially for, again, you paddleboarders off season, because when you're on that board and you get on the board for the first time, you haven't paddled all winter, you're gonna feel super wobbly. So working on those small stabilizing muscles in the feet and ankles is really gonna help you get a head start in the season. All right, so thinking about all those things, the chest up high, the pelvis tucked, okay, grabbing through the toes, engaging the top of the glute. We're going to float the right knee up. We're working on that triple flexion, and then whatever you need to do with your arms to help you balance. We're gonna start here, knees soft, and we wanna think of it being strong and stable. So that's kind of the mantra I have going through my head, strong and stable. Now we're gonna close our left eye. Now I'm just showing you this. You can obviously just close it on your own. Some people need to have their hand over because they're gonna cheat and they're gonna peek. And I wanna hold about 10 seconds or so, and then I'm gonna open. Okay, I'm not done yet, because now I gotta close the right eye. So I'm gonna close the right eye. 10-ish so seconds here. All right, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna mentally prepare myself. I'm gonna make sure everything's engaged, and I'm gonna close both eyes. All right, and I wanna think about, I wanna think about 10-ish seconds or so there, okay? Other side, same thing, okay? Shoulders back, engage your core, belly button to belly button, float up, flexion at the ankle, hip and knee, and get strong and stable. Close the left eye for 10, close the right eye for 10, and then both eyes for 10. Woo! So we're gonna go through that set 2 or 3 times. And eventually, if you can work your way up to like 20, 30 seconds, both eyes closed, you're gonna be a pro. But what you should feel is you should really feel those muscles, the small muscles in the feet and ankles, helping to stabilize your body. So hopefully this gives you a couple things to add to your routine. And again, you know, this is something that you can do daily. I tell people, like, incorporate this into your life. You know, you're doing dishes, you're gonna add some calf raises, you're folding laundry, you know, I don't know, you're doing your leg swings. Challenge yourself and try to make it a habit. So have fun with these, and we will see you for a strong spring and summer season.